All right, so after the firing of James Comey, the destroy Trump propaganda media, destroy Trump Democrats, never Trumpers who have been seething in the dark, along with weak Republicans and, of course, the deep state, these groups are now working themselves into a feeding frenzy and clearly are now out for blood. But tonight, it's time for a reality check. Why James Comey deserved and needed to be fired, something they're not talking about, something the destroy Trump media won't tell you, because they have their own agenda. We know that. As we've been highlighting on this show, James Comey was a complete and utter failure. He disrespected the U.S. Constitution. He didn't care about the rule of law. He didn't care about equal justice under the law for every American. He did nothing about the violation of Fourth Amendment privacy rights and, of course, leaking of classified information, which is a crime, including the unmasking of Lieutenant General Michael Flynn and then releasing that publicly. They created, in this case, a two-tier justice system. That's right, one for Hillary and Bill Clinton and one for the rest of us. So tonight we're going to go back to July 5th, 2016, James Comey's press conference, where we thought he was laying out a strong case for the indictment of Hillary Clinton. And we're going to go point by point through his statements and then show you specifically laws that were broken based on his own words. Let's start here.
From the group of 30,000 emails returned to the State Department in 2014, 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received. 8 of those chains contained information that was top secret at the time they were sent. 36 of those chains contained secret information at the time, and 8 contained confidential information at the time. That's the lowest level of classification. Separate from those, about 2,000 additional emails were up-classified to make them confidential. Those emails had not been classified at the time that they were sent.
Now, the FBI director is basically saying there, Clinton broke the law. What law? 18 U.S. Code 1924. What is that? The unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents or material. Let's continue. Let's watch Comey say this.
The FBI also discovered several thousand work-related emails that were not among the group of 30,000 emails returned by Secretary Clinton to State in 2014. We found those emails in a variety of ways. Some had been deleted over the years, and we found traces of them on servers or devices that have been connected to the private email domain.
All right, what is he saying? What law comes into play here that Clinton violated? 18 U.S. Code 793, gathering, transmitting, or losing defense information, which we know with 99% certainty that, in fact, 5 foreign intelligence agencies were able to get a hold of. Here's the next part.
Although we did not find clear evidence that Secretary Clinton or her colleagues intended to violate laws governing the handling of classified information, there is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information.
Extremely careless, but the law states gross negligence. What's the difference? Here are the laws that were violated here. 18 U.S. Code 793, again, gathering, transmitting, or losing defense information, and 18 U.S. Code 1905, disclosure of confidential information generally. Okay, let's go to Comey's next statement.
7 email chains concern matters that were classified at the top secret special access program at the time they were sent and received. Those chains involve Secretary Clinton both sending emails about those matters and receiving emails about those same matters. There is evidence to support a conclusion that any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position or in the position of those with whom she was corresponding about those matters should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
Amazing. Here are the laws that apply here. 18 U.S. Code 798. Disclosure of classified information. Again, 18 U.S. Code 793. Gathering, transmitting, losing defense information. 18 U.S. Code 1905. Disclosure of confidential information generally. Now, this is only the tip of the iceberg. All of these are serious, prosecutable crimes which Comey ignored. And by the way, there's a former Navy machinist. His name is Christian Saucier. He's now sitting behind bars tonight. He's serving a year's sentence for taking 6 pictures of the submarine that he worked on. Hillary Clinton, she got to walk free. Now, there's also the fact that James Comey had no business ever holding that press conference in the first place and determining whether or not there was enough evidence to recommend charges against Hillary Clinton. Now, that right exclusively belongs to the Attorney General of the United States, not James Comey. And all he was supposed to do was present evidence and not exercise any sort of prosecutorial power. Now, if the Destroy Trump media, they want to talk about a real Russian collusion scandal, not some bizarre tinfoil hat conspiracy theory like the one they've been pushing for the last 8+ months without any evidence, let's talk about the Clinton Foundation. Let's talk about the Uranium One deal. Where was James Comey on this? Now, our friend Peter Schweitzer, who wrote the book Clinton Cash, he did all the legwork for the FBI in this one. All Comey had to do was follow through and check out the facts for himself. In this deal, Hillary Clinton signed off on giving 20% of America's uranium to Vladimir Putin, to the Russians. And in exchange, investors who profited from this deal gave or pledged up to $145 million to the Clinton Foundation. And in 2010, Bill Clinton, remember, she was Secretary of State, he was paid $500,000 for a speech in Moscow, twice his normal speaking fee, by a Russian bank that had ties to the Kremlin and that had a buy rating on Uranium One stock. Now, where's the outrage from the Destroy Trump media? Where's the outrage from the Destroy Trump Democrats over this? They barely even talked about this massive scandal, despite mountains of evidence and obvious wrongdoing. Now, if Comey cared even a little bit about the rule of law, the Constitution, he would have launched an investigation into the Clinton Foundation, but he didn't do that because he was too busy playing politics. Then there's the egregious violation of our Fourth Amendment privacy rights. Do you care about that? Unreasonable search and seizure? And the Obama administration surveilling, unmasking the identity of American citizens and then leaking their names? Their identities are supposed to be protected through a process. Number one, first you need a warrant. And then if, in fact, you are incidentally surveilled, they're supposed to do minimization, a process by which they minimize what they learn about what the Americans say. But as we saw in the case of Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, well, he was incidentally surveilled, unmasked, and then that information was leaked to the press, which is a crime, a violation of the Espionage Act. Now, in this entire Russia conspiracy, bizarre world we're now living in, the only crime that we know for sure that was committed, for certain, was against Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. Once again, Comey didn't seem to care or even be concerned with what happened. So to all the members of the Destroy Trump media, the Destroy Trump Democrats, now never-Trumpers are excited. We were right. They want relevance again. Well, that's the truth that James Comey got what he deserved. He needed to be fired. But make no mistake, the desire by the media, the D.C. deep state, swamp, Democrats, weak establishment Republicans that never supported the president or then candidate Trump, and never-Trumpers, they're now out there thinking they're back in the game. Now, in many, many ways, they have created this alliance, and that's a clear and present danger, I'm arguing, to the president. They smell blood in the water. They're pushing bizarre conspiracies. They're not standing up for the rule of law, equal justice under the law. Very dangerous time we're living in. Joining us